Hi folks, we are Sophie and Philippe, two professional chefs and regenerative farmers. Currently, we're setting up our second regenerative farm in central Portugal, where we grow food for our local community and share our knowledge both on the land and in the kitchen. On this channel, we take you along on the farm's development and we show you how we grow, cook and preserve nutrient-dense, regeneratively grown, delicious food. In a time where the food we're eating is literally killing us, the most powerful and impactful action one could take is to consume nutrient-dense, regeneratively grown, clean food. Let's grow it, let's cook it, let's do it. Hi and welcome back. So in this episode, we're gonna go all farm update, and of course I'll be answering the question what we think about the use of plastic in regenerative agriculture. A very good question asked by one of our viewers. So let's dive right into that and let's go have a look at some of the updates. To the washing and cooling station. All right, so yes, it's pretty similar to the way that it was, but there have been a few really great upgrades. The first one being is that Philippe installed water here. So that means that we now can use this space practically in order to wash and pack our veg, cool store it. And this is also the spot where our customers come to actually pick up their weekly veggie boxes. So we are using the space now. It's still very low tech. There are improvements in the planning, but we just have to find, the time to actually execute. So the first thing we did was make it functional. We've done that by adding our workbenches in here. We are still missing basically a good, I would call it a drain table, a table with a mesh in which you can spray off your dirty veg and let it sort of dry there. Other than that, we're pretty well covered. We've got our sink, then we have a table at which I can sort all the herbs and make bushels of things. Then we usually plonk a few of our terrace tables here in order to lay out all the boxes, which we then fill out. And really happy with this space. It's been super practical and it's great use because veggie sales are going wonderful, so nothing to complain here. As you can tell, still very basic, but you don't really need much hi-fi or whatever you would like to call it in order to wash and pack your veg. So this is still a very basic setup. There's room for much more improvement, but that isn't needed now. And also when you're growing vegetables, the reality is that the margins aren't very high. So keeping your investments low is always a smart move. Let's go into the garden. I'm going to show you what's growing there and what Philippe has been doing, and also some new life on the farm. Philippe has been hard at work sifting out the compost and trying to save as many earthworms as possible, which we then deposit back into our compost heaps. You can really never have enough compost on a farm, so I really appreciate Philippe's hard work in getting all these nutrient-dense soil amendments onto our land. He's so huge. Go straight for the ball sack. Oh my god. So one of the latest additions here has been this beautiful perennial row of little fruit trees. We had a wild border here this last season. Now we're going to just plonk in as many perennials as we can, and flowers and all kinds of wonderful biodiverse plants that will help our little ecosystem here. So we've got an apple, we've got a few plums, we've got an apricot, and Philippe has done the first little touch of love, which is he planted them with an inoculation of mycorrhizal fungi, and the next step now is to cover it with some cardboard and then a generous amount of wood chips, which will come after pruning. Right, Philippe?
Right.
The autumn garden, like the spring garden, is always so green and vibrant that they have become my two favorite times of year as a farmer. We've got lots of brassicas growing now, which are the plants in the cabbage family. Cauliflowers are being harvested, white cabbages are almost ready, and we planted a lot of new Chinese cabbage plants, beetroots and kohlrabi this week. All in all, the garden is thriving and doing even better than last autumn, as the soil is really starting to build up a lot of that microbiology it needs to provide fertility to the plants. Our methods are working, and that's always a great feeling. Furthermore, the chard plants are still holding on and providing us with a steady weekly harvest for months and months now. The bed we made in one of our courses has been planted with a spectacularly delicious strawberry variety called Schindler, which is by far the tastiest strawberry I have ever eaten. I'm so looking forward to showing you guys when they are ready to start giving. For those of you who are interested to come and follow a course with us, please do check out our website. We'll be publishing new dates for 2025 soon, and this weekend is your last chance to join us for a regenerative course this year. So sign up for our newsletter if you want to be notified, and also if you want to receive exclusive discounts that are only offered to our community members. I actually wanted to take this opportunity to address a question that one of our viewers had in one of our previous videos, and that was about the use of plastic in regenerative farming and how we feel about it. So let me break it down for you and what our stance is. I don't want to say that plastic is the ultimate solution, because obviously it's problematic due to microplastic and pollution of our environment. Having said that, though, I think that we as people need to accept that there are usually no perfect solutions to problems. If there were, we probably wouldn't have any problems. So in our stance, from our perspective, what we tend to do is we tend to weigh the benefits against the contras. And we very strongly believe that in order to be successful regenerative farmers, we need to keep three things in mind, which is our, environmental reasons and our environment, our societal structures, and our economy. Because of course, if we don't have money, we can't pay for anything. If we are benefiting our ecology, but we are not benefiting our economy, then we can be doing really great work as regenerative farmers. But if we aren't making a buck, we won't be able to farm. As for society, sometimes you can do things that are really great for ecology, but they might be very bad for, let's say, the poorest population in the planet. So therefore, we always need to find a balance within these three. The three stools, if you will, need to be always in somewhat of an equilibrium. And sometimes you got to make a tough call. So the way that we think about using plastic on our farm is that we try to reduce it as much as possible. But where it serves us in terms of economic benefit and time management, we sometimes make the decision to use plastic. And one of the ways we do that is with silo tarp. I'm going to breathe for a second because I'm a terrible breather. I talk and I forget to breathe. And then halfway through the sentence, I need to start again. So silo tarp is something that we use for weed suppression on the farm. And silo tarp actually has a few really great benefits, even in regenerative practices. So first off, you want to invest in really high quality plastic that doesn't degrade very well to minimize the risk of microplastic ending up in your environment. That having been said, we use it in order to weed suppress on a bigger scale in our setup. So that means that we don't spend as much time or as many hours weeding in our setup, which means that we are able to make more money farming. While you're tarping, you're also actually aiding somewhat the decomposition of the organic matter underneath the tarp, because you're creating a dark and wet environment in which earthworms, for instance, love to thrive, and other microbiology also thrives, making sure, of course, that you are keeping it moist enough for that to happen. Another added benefit of tarping is that we don't turn our soil around as much, and we are able to kill off cover crops by depriving them from sunlight, meaning that we actually, in our regenerative setup, are able to disturb the soil minimally, which is really beneficial to the microbiology in our soils and therefore for our fertility. So I would say use as little plastic as you can, invest in high quality plastic, treat that plastic with lots of care, so don't leave it out in the sun if you're not actually using it on the field, so that you don't need to buy new plastic every year. And when you get rid of plastic that is no longer good, do so in a place where you know it's going to be recycled. All right, I hope that answered your question. In the greenhouse, we've obviously discontinued all our tomatoes and also lots of our pepper plants. And now we're having all kinds of salad mixes seeded in, because they'll be making delicious little salad bags for our customers. So behind us, you'll see that this is the third block, which we've opened up. We've tarped it for a while, and then we planted some green manure in there, lucerne to be exact. That didn't go according to plan. That's the only thing that didn't really go according to plan in the garden up until this point in the season. It didn't come up, or it came up very spottily. So Philippe reseeded that now, and we've decided to open up the first 3 beds. Philippe planted the garlic there, and they got a little bit of special love. So this has got a light treatment with some blood meal, some bone meal and some rock dust. And we'll be adding compost onto them as well, but that's just sort of a kickstarter of nutrient for this soil. And so we're going to be adding compost to them ASAP. Philippe and I took a walk to go look at our newest addition on the farm. Our flock is looking very happy and healthy. Recently we culled a few for our own freezer, and we are expecting a few new lambs to arrive in the next weeks. Sheep are just so fun to watch, and this new lamb looks very healthy and fit. Scratching that itch. In these past weeks, every time the sun shone, I also took some time to do some work in the herb garden. This means that I've been cutting back our marjoram, and we have been harvesting a lot of our lemongrass. I'm thinning the plants out because they'll grow back vigorously next season, and this means we can have a nice freezer full of our own lemongrass sticks. I use those for curries and other fragrant dishes. Thai cuisine really is my favorite, if I'm honest. Unfortunately, we can't grow coconuts here. It's been really wonderful sharing these updates with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really want to hear what you guys think, and any other questions out there for us, just drop them in the comments below. We are planning for 2025 behind the scene, which is super exciting, and I can't wait to share more about our next year's plans with you. I'm going to keep that on the down low for a little longer, and I've got some other exciting news, which is that we have our own merch. You can find that in the link below. You can shop both in a UK store and a US store. I really like the design of the shirts. I think it perfectly sums what we're all about, because we are indeed rooting for flavor. So check those out, and thank you very much for your support. Drop the comments below. See you on the next one. The Farming Chefs, peace out.